Hi, Kylie.
Hi, Cameron. Thank
Thanks
you for
for-
seeing me.
Thanks for coming in again. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold.
Oh, you're all good.
We only have 30 minutes today.
Okay.
What is something you want to focus on talking about? Like, what's an important topic you want to kind of focus on looking back at like the past weeks and how that's been going moving forward?
Well, I think the yoga has been helping a lot in like my everyday stresses, but like my stress around big workouts and big races is still pretty high. So I think I want to focus on that and focus on what I can do to improve that.
Focus on more of the immediate term anxiety and stress.
Yeah.
Okay. What are in the past? What are some things that you've done during like races that decrease stress or around big events? They don't have to be specific, just like general things, either done before, during, after.
Before I worked with a sports psychologist, we've developed kind of like how would I say it? It was like a sheet. It was like kind of like a who I want to be sheet, and it was like who I want to be at my best performing. And we do like verbs to define that. So I would say like consistent, reliable, and brave, and we like work off of that. And I've also like made on-topic and off-topic thought sheets. So like on-topic thoughts would be like focus on your form, focus on passing certain girls, and off-topic sheets would be like, oh, I'm gonna mess this race up, I'm gonna let my teammates down, and kind of doing those kind of brainstorming things like a week and a half out from big races have in the past helped a lot. They've also, but it's not consistent. Sometimes they help and sometimes they don't. It kind of depends on maybe how much pressure I'm putting on myself. So.
Okay. And you feel like that kind of helped, the like writing it out and.
It does, but it doesn't. I mean, it helps. I'd say maybe like 60% of the time, and I really want to find something to lower my like anxiety and stress that I can rely on, and that will work consistently, like 100% of the time, which may be a lot to ask.
Yeah, so you want to find something that'll work like overall and will kind of decrease it generally. And you said yoga was helping with that a little bit?
It was helping. It's helping more just like with my everyday overall mood. I think it makes me a little more of like a positive, grounded person. But I don't know if it necessarily helps when it comes to my anxiety around running.
Okay. So with the future and how with like your stress and competing, what are like if you had 3 wishes, what would you want to see happen?
3 wishes. My first wish would be to just lower my anxiety so I don't experience physical symptoms from it, like back pain, chest tightness, even like it goes so far as anxiety attacks, and I'd really like for those to not be so prevalent. My second wish is just to be consistent in my performances, and I feel like if I had a means to like keep my anxiety to a certain level, like a certain baseline, I feel like I would be able to perform more consistently.
Okay.
And third, I feel like it's like I wasn't so caught up in my own stress, I'd be able to to be a more open person, I'd be able to be a better teammate and help. Because I'm a senior, and I feel like I'd be able to like help the younger girls who are maybe like experiencing stress from like not knowing, like not being as experienced and being a little nervous. I feel like I'd be able to branch out and help them cope a little more and be a good leader.
Okay. So some of the other things that we had talked about last week, the journal. How did that go?
It went good. It was actually we have a new coach and he's making us log every day, and I feel like doing that coupling with the journal allows me to be a lot more consistent with it, because it's like something I have to do, and I do find myself enjoying it, and I think it helps.
Okay. And then the stone we had talked about.
I had trouble committing to the idea. I liked the idea at first, but when I started to do it, it felt a little silly to me. Like I couldn't commit to the idea and couldn't take it seriously, so I'm not sure it helped.
Okay. Sorry. With the future, and I'd like to try and find something that would work, kind of help decrease your overall stress. What do you enjoy doing?
I really enjoy just being social, communicating with friends, just hanging out with friends and like having like good conversation. That's something that I find myself like happiest in that kind of setting, and it relaxes me and I enjoy it.
And you enjoy running and competing as well?
Yes.
Do you find that you have enough like you time during the weeks of training, school? Do you find yourself lacking time to yourself or with friends?
You know, it varies week to week. I feel like school is funny that way. You have weeks where it's like very low key and you have like a lot of free time, and then you have a couple weeks where everything just piles on. So definitely I think I have a good balance there. I have enough days where I feel like I do have enough me time, but I mean there are those weeks where it's going to be higher stress than other weeks.
And the weeks that you have like less you time, do you feel your anxiety is more or less?
I would say so, because I don't have any time to decompress, so I feel like it just kind of piles on.
Okay. So I've seen you make a lot of improvements in the last. How long has it been? Like about 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a month now.
I've seen you make a lot of progress.
Thank you.
I've seen your anxiety decrease from the level it was. We've been exploring new topics, and moving forward into the future, I'd like to try and find at least one concrete way that will kind of help with your overall anxiety. And we might not find something that's a cure-all, but we can at least find something that'll at least help.
Yeah, I think if I have like a couple little things that I do feel comfortable doing, I think even if it helps like 50%, that's eons better than nothing. Yeah.
So what are those little things that you've seen over the past month that have helped? And they don't have to be specifically what that we've talked about. It could just be random things that you've noticed.
Well, just going back, like looking back on this past season I just did, my anxiety was lowest and my performance was greatest when communication and camaraderie with my teammates was at its highest point. So I think making steps to just like improving communication with the girls and like being more like collaborative as a team, I think that's going to help not only myself but all our girls decrease stress around racing, and I think it makes it more fun. I think we like motivate each other, and I think it becomes more focused and goal oriented rather than like keeping our nerves to ourselves and letting them build.
So camaraderie among your teammates, that's something you could definitely work on improving. Good team communication can never be a bad thing.
How would you say going about opening up and having I want to say organizing group discussions. I want to organize more group discussions, but at the same time I don't want to come off as bossy.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you suggest going about that?
You could do possibly social events.
Okay.
If you're if you're out at dinner or something, you don't necessarily feel pressured where if you were sitting down in a room around a table, just like this.
That's a good point. Maybe I could organize a dinner once a week.
Or go
at my
into
house
yogurt or something.
Yeah.
Something where it's not they don't feel stressed to kind of open up and be friendly.
Okay.
And then kind of making it optional, but encouraging them to come as well.
Okay. I think that's a good idea.
What else seemed to help?
I'd say talking to my coach.
Okay.
He's really good at putting any doubts or pressures I have into perspective.
Because a lot of your anxiety stems from racing, right?
Yeah.
And competing. So someone that knows best can kind of help alleviate some of those stresses.
Yeah. I think something I could work on is definitely putting more effort into communicating with him, because I like to kind of fix everything on my own when I think talking to people is what ends up helping me a lot.
Okay. Well, it seems like we have some good ideas to plug into move into the future. Was there anything else you wanted to input?
Not really. I think we are focusing on a good place right now.
Okay. So a lot of communication and talking with teammates and your coach and friends will kind of help with your anxiety.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
All right. Are we gonna be meeting again? I think this is our last meeting.
I think it is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Cameron. I feel like this has been really helpful.
Thank you for coming in.
Have a good one.
You too.
Alrighty, this is the debriefing of video 3 where Cameron was the coach and I was the client.
I think it didn't go too bad.
I think it was good. I think, at least from what I felt, I think you hit all the points of the appreciative inquiry, the 5 Ds?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you did a good job at focusing on that. And I think you did a good job of just being really open and asking a lot of good questions and letting me do most of the brain work for myself. I think that was good.
Yeah. Since I didn't really know exactly where to go, I'd kind of exhausted all of my thoughts and ideas. Having the client brainstorm and kind of design their own plan for the future is definitely a good idea.
And I think it was actually a really good strategy because I felt like I was able to develop a plan for myself that I felt really confident in. And then at the end of the video, you actually gave me really helpful suggestions.
Because it's something I would never have thought of. It's something that you would have to come up with on your own.
Yeah.
What about improvements?
I can't really think of anything at the moment. I thought the session went really well. for motivational interviewing, do you feel like there are any points you missed, or I think you hit it pretty good?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Positive debriefing. Hi there, Cameron. Good to see you.
Good to see you again too.
This is our last session together. How do you feel?
Feel good.
Good, good. Well, we only have 30 minutes today, so I really wanted to check in with you and see if there was anything you wanted to focus on for this session.
I want to focus kind of on, since this is our last session, kind of like long-term things I can kind of like sustain to decrease my stress overall.
Okay. Okay, well, tell me, I know last session you left with a couple things to maybe try out and work on. Is there anything that stood out to you in the past couple weeks where you felt like it worked well?
I think definitely socializing and doing the study groups and studying with friends, even though like we're studying different things and doing homework. Definitely being around other people rather than by myself decreased my stress a lot. It kind of helped me focus a little bit more too.
That's really good to hear. So tell me a bit more about that.
Well, whenever I went over to my friends. I went over to my friends, did study groups at least maybe it was like 3 or 4 times a week. So it was fairly often. And the times that I went, it seemed like I wasn't as worried about homework. I wasn't as worried about school. The pressure was kind of like decreased. And I was able to kind of relax and actually focus on the homework. I feel like I may have done a little bit better on the homework and like gotten it done faster. So
that's wonderful. It sounds like socializing and studying with friends really kind of changed the setting from a more stressful one to a more enjoyable one.
Because it seems like when you're by yourself, it's like the pressure's on, it's stressful. And kind of getting out of my house too. It was nice to not have all those potential distractions.
That's really good to hear. So, is studying with friends something you feel like you can incorporate going forward into the future?
I think maybe with modification, yes.
Okay.
But I won't always have. I'll be graduating soon, and I won't always have homework and stuff to do. So maybe like socializing more, hanging out and relaxing, because I don't take time to relax. I probably do need more time to myself to have fun with people, and
So it sounds like if you had wishes for yourself, that would definitely be one of them.
Yeah, definitely having more like free time, me time.
What else do you wish for yourself?
I guess to kind of find some way, like other than like socializing, to like decrease my stress.
Okay. Well, I mean, I am really happy to hear and really proud of you that you took that step to initiate those study sessions with friends, and I feel like that's a really good step into finding methods that help decrease your stress and make those stressful events in your life a little more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're definitely going to be able to find similar ways to cope in other areas of your life as well. And I think it's just a matter of exploring those and kind of making sure to be proactive in your health and happiness.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and doing these sessions together, I feel like is like a really good step in itself. So I'm really proud of you for that.
Thank you.
Moving forward, is there anything you'd like to focus on in terms of like planning?
Well, I'm not sure.
I know in the last in like 2 weeks ago we kind of came up with a plan to maybe try to get a couple more hours of sleep every night. How did that go for you?
The sleep went well.
Good.
I was able to get at least like 8 hours of sleep a night, which definitely seemed to kind of reduce my stress in the morning and then into the afternoon.
That's great to hear. So it felt like it helped you sustain throughout the day a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think last week we had talked about the journaling, which it had worked a couple of weeks ago, but this past few weeks it just wasn't working, so I stopped it altogether.
Okay. How did you feel it wasn't working?
It was getting to be like a hassle.
Okay.
Since other methods were working, I kind of figured, oh, I don't need to do this, so I just dropped it.
Yeah, and that's good for you to recognize this. Like instead of just continuing with it and coming to resent it. I mean, definitely, if other methods are working, we could definitely focus on using those methods and kind of dropping the ones that don't work. So I'm glad you were flexible in finding what worked for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that the sleep was manageable and something you can keep up in the future?
Yeah.
Good.
I feel like I can devote more time to sleep since it definitely helps.
Good to hear. And anything else you wanted to touch base on? How, did you want to talk about your eating at all? I know that was a concern when we first met up.
I think the eating's kind of stabilized now.
Okay.
That my stress is kind of equalized and is getting managed. But I think that maybe for the future, going hiking, going outdoors, going biking, especially with like friends, is definitely a good way is like helping manage my stress.
That's good to hear. I know when I first met you, that was something that really stood out to me was that you do enjoy getting outdoors, and I think that's a really good quality. I think that's a really healthy way to kind of reduce stress and just I think it's a really good activity to be involved in. So I know you've expressed just in the time we spent together that socializing with friends has been a really effective strategy for you.
It has.
Awesome. Well, I know it's been really successful, especially in your in school settings and studying. But I know you expressed your graduating. I mean, congratulations, by the way. And I think moving forward, just being able to apply that openness and that socialization into other areas, like hiking is a great example. I think maybe hiking with friends and making an effort to just hang out with friends in other areas of your life is gonna be really effective in keeping your happiness up and your stress a little lower. How do you feel about that?
I think that's something I could definitely do. Since I'd be graduating, I'd have a little bit more free time, a little less stress, and I can definitely work in more hiking, more social stuff to reduce the stress that I have from graduating. Even.
Perfect. Well, I think that's all the time we have for today, but I'm really pleased with the progress we've made, and it was really good to get to know you and good to talk to you. And I hope the strategies we've come up with here carry out into your future. And I'm really excited for you, Cameron. I think you're going to do just fine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, final debriefing. This time I was the coach and Cameron was the client.
I think you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You really praised and gave like positive feedback and just allowed the client to kind of express what they wanted and come to a conclusion kind of on their own, but you also helped facilitate it. Really the only negative thing the only thing I noticed was that I didn't get to say my third wish, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even notice that. So you're pointing it out, yeah.
but I mean, that's okay. It didn't really need to be expressed since I was having issues figuring it out in the first place. But yeah, is there anything you noticed?
I'm trying to think.
You hit all of the
Kind of-
the 5Ds.
Kind of blanking at them out. I think I did a good job with the 5Ds. I think from the first video to this video, I noticed, at least for me, it was much easier to be a lot more open-ended and ask questions as opposed to like itching to blurt out suggestions. And I think just these videos in itself have been like a really good practice for like
Mm-hmm.
for just like asking questions, and the whole coaching part has gotten a little bit easier for me.
It's kind of turned in from like more of like a block chunk like format to more like a conversation that flows.
Yeah, it's definitely got a little easier to just
As you're getting more comfortable with it.
make it flow. Yeah, like before I would like the client would be talking and I would be like brainstorming in my head and like maybe like neglecting the whole actually being engaged and listening. And now I feel like I'm able to like engage and like have good responses without having to think so hard.
Great job.
I think it went well. Thank you.